Hello guys, I'm teacher Laura. Today we will be reviewing unit number 7 from your yellow book, which is Does it have a view? The first topic that we have is simple questions with short answers. Now, for this one we have to remember that the simple present is going to use do and does as our auxiliary. So remember that for do, we're going to stick to the pronouns I, you, we, and they. Meanwhile, for does, we're going to stick to the pronouns he, she, and it. So the questions that we will be doing in this unit are all related to home and your living situation. So the first question that we have, do you live in an apartment? This question, as you can see, we started off with do as an auxiliary and you as a pronoun. This makes sense with the rule that we just reviewed. Do you live in an apartment? And therefore the answer is going to follow the same logic. Do for positive and don't for negative. Do the bedrooms have windows? Since we're talking about the bedrooms, which is plural, we're going to stick with do as we would do with they, right? Do the bedrooms have windows? And again, we follow the same logic for the answer. Yes, they do, if that is a fact, or no, they don't, if they don't. And we're going to stick with does Chris live in a house? Since Chris is a he's a boy. So does Chris live in a house? And following the same logic, yes, he does, or no, he doesn't. All right? Okay, so to practice what we just saw, we're going to solve exercise 8 from page 47. For this, we are going to complete the conversation using either do, does, or verbs like live and have, which are related to the conversation about your house or your home. Now, we have Linda and Chris having a conversation, and Linda asks, do you live in an apartment? And Chris answers, no, I. Since we have I as a pronoun, we're going to answer don't. It's negative because the answer is negative as well. I in a house. I live in a house. We use live because that was a question that Linda was asking him. We have two blanks and we're asking about the house. So since it's a house, we're going to start with does it have, because we're asking about the feature of the house. And Chris answers, yes, it. And remember, we have to stick with our auxiliary, does. Then Linda asks, that sounds nice. Do, we're going to use do because we have the pronoun you. And the question, live alone. Remember that we're asking about the living situation as well. Chris answers, no, I. And remember, if it's negative and we're talking about I, no, I don't. I live with my family. Then Linda asks, blank you, and remember if we have you, we're going to stick with do. Do you have any brothers or sisters? And Chris answers, yes, I do. We're going to answer with have, since that was the question. I have 4 sisters. Really? Then we're asking about the house, and remember that the house is an object. So, does your house have many bedrooms? The bedrooms are features as well. And Chris answers, yes, it does. It has 4. Then Linda asks, blank you blank your own bedroom? So since we're asking about you, we're going to stick with do. Do you have your own bedroom? And Chris answers, yes, I do. I'm really lucky. So guys, we're going to continue our topic in Unit 7, reviewing there is and there are. We're going to use the forms there is and there are when we want to indicate that something or someone exists within a space. So we use there is when we're talking about one single object. For example, there is a bed in the bedroom. We stick with is because a bed is just one. Meanwhile, when we have more than one object, we're going to use there are some chairs in the kitchen. Here we have chairs, which is more than one. Therefore, it's there are. Now, that is the case if we have more than one object or just one object. But what happens when we have no objects? we have two options in each case. We can either use no to indicate what is missing from a space. For example, there is no sofa in the bedroom, right? Or no, in this case, there are no chairs in the living room. The other option that we have is to use it as a negative. There isn't a table in the kitchen. Here we are indicating that we're missing a kitchen in the table. While here, there aren't, negative, to indicate that we are missing chairs from the living room. We have to keep in mind that isn't and aren't are both contractions. And we can also use a contraction theirs when we are using the positive of there is. Now, to practice, we're going to head to page 47, and we're going to take a look at the picture to complete the sentences that we have above, either with there is or there are no, depending on what we're missing. So first we have the example. There is no dresser in the bedroom. So as we can see, it is correct. We have no dresser in the bedroom. Then we have chairs in the kitchen. So we're going to head to the kitchen, and we can see that there are 3 chairs in the kitchen. So we're going to write that down. There are 3 chairs in the kitchen, right? Now, we have TV in the living room. And as we can see, we do have a TV in the living room. So we're going to write, there is a TV or one TV in the living room. We're going to head to the kitchen to look for the refrigerator. So as we can see, we have no refrigerator. And that's exactly what we're going to write. There is no, or there isn't, a refrigerator in the kitchen. Then we have rugs on the floor. We're going to look for any rugs. And as you can see, there are no rugs on the floor. No rugs on the floor. Then we have curtains on the windows. Let's head to the windows, and we have no curtains there. So that's what we're going to write. There are no curtains. Then we have mirror in the bedroom, and as we can see, we do have a mirror. Let's write that there is a mirror in the bedroom. And lastly, we're going to look for books in the bookcase, and as you can see, it is empty. There are no books in the bookcase. Thank you for watching.